attention, please. It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in
10. You have a dream? 9. And if you have a goal? 8. I want you to go after it. 7. It doesn't matter your age. 6. And it doesn't matter your race. 5. You can make it. 4. I promise. 3. So go. 2. Be defiant. 1. And live your dream. Unafraid. Defy all odds. I am defiant. There is nothing that can hold back my greatness.
I am defiant.
And the same goes for you. Welcome to the Defiant Ones Team Podcast, hosted by Kindify. The show starts now. Hey guys, welcome back, or if you're new, to the Defiant Ones Team Podcast. I hope you all are doing amazing today. I know that I certainly am on this beautiful, lovely eve of Wednesday, this Wednesday evening. Guys, I am feeling great. I'm feeling great. Not only because it's just a beautiful day. I will tell you a little bit about my day. I actually went out driving a good bit and no accidents. No accidents, guys. I'm feeling good. I will be getting my license soon, as well as graduating, but I'm feeling amazing. I just want to let you know that I hope you're having a beautiful day. If you are new here, first of all, welcome. We are the Defiant Ones Teen Podcast, stemmed from the Defiant Ones Teen Magazine, which is a magazine for teens by teens that talks about the latest fashion, entertainment, news, sports, trends, and everything that other magazines do. But what makes us different and what makes us defiant is we are sharing the stories of entertainers, entrepreneurs, everything like that, of teens and young adults who are going after their life, defining who they are, while also defying the odds, limitations, expectations that life, society, and sometimes even ourselves put against us, right? So we are defying that. We are also sharing things that schools are not teaching us that we need to know as youth, like sex trafficking, bullying, health and wellness, financial literacy, things to do after high school, creating a business. I mean, so many important factors and subjects that need to be talked about that just aren't talked about enough. That is what we're doing, and we welcome you. We welcome you with open arms. I'm super excited today, guys, because we have an amazing guest here with us that truly we all can learn from. We all can learn from, not just from what he's going to say, but by watching and really listening to his words. A wise man. A wise man and a person that I'm truly, truly excited for you guys to meet. And that person, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Paul Max Johnshon. Hey.
What's going on? How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for having me, Kindify.
Most definitely. Super excited to have you. So before we get into all of it, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, obviously you see my name is Paul. My full name is Paul Maximilian Johnson. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I went to Whitnall High School. Go Falcons. I don't know if y'all know who Tyler Hero is, but he went to my high school. From there, went to the University of Minnesota. Go Gophers. Lived in Minneapolis for 10 years. Worked in the computer industry. My first job out of college was with Zeos Corporation, which was later bought out by Micron Corporation. And I didn't necessarily feel like moving to Utah at the time. So luckily, one of my schoolmates and I started a company called UCS Solutions Group, which was a small boutique computer company where we built small, medium-sized desktop systems, as well as small to medium-sized enterprise server systems. Did that until 2000. We were bought out by a larger company, and since then, I've been running Johnson Asset Group LLC, which is a asset holding company which operates in education, media, engineering, and in management.
Good. That's a lot that you've been doing. That is
I
a whole lot.
got to stay busy. Got to stay busy.
100%. So, where did you get your schooling?
Um, well, like I said, in Milwaukee, good primary, well, a good portion of it was through the Whitnall School District, middle and high school. Excellent educational foundation that I received at that school. One of the best things that I can say that school and school district taught me is how to compete, and to know that life is one, cooperation and collaboration, but it's also competition. So
Yeah.
I took that to the University of Minnesota. When I started at the University of Minnesota, I was an accounting major for 2 weeks, and then I found out that they had a studio on campus with this solid state mixing board, and I was like, oh man, I got to take that class. But you had to be an engineering student to even get into that studio. So I was like, all right, I'm switching my major to electrical engineering, and then the rest is history.
So, what exactly is electrical engineering? I know people confuse it because there's a lot of different types. Quite honestly, computer design, electrical engineering, of course, systems engineering, a lot of these different things. What exactly is it, and what's the difference between the other kinds of engineering?
Well, electrical engineering, basically, I guess if you want to focus on a word, we focus on the flow of the electricity, but also the flow of information and other resources that can come from it. An engineer is mainly concerned with the design. They take the theory and translate that theory to design. Then you have your electricians, your layman terms, journeymen, where they take that design and theory and turn it into actual production. So, like I said, we're the design, we're the thinkers. We basically solve problems. So, even within electrical engineering, we had to learn how to program. I remember learning Fortran and Visual J and C++ in college, to where the brunt of my work came from programming. Even though I've worked in design, engineering, and things of that nature, the brunt of my work that I do now comes from programming, because the brunt of the newer technologies that's coming out are dealing with artificial intelligence. We in the information age transitioning to the robotic age. So we're preparing for R2D2. So R2D2 is going to be doing all this physical work. We just got to tell R2D2 what to do. So that's my contribution to the game, and that's what the engineers focus on.
Yeah, and that's a really good thing, because truly that means that you are the innovator that is creating the future, creating our future, that is continuing to grow the, of course, industry that we are now all getting into. This is the 21st century, the what do they call it? The technical age, something like that. This is literally, this is where everything is coming into technology. I love what you said about R2D2.
I'm trying to tell you. I mean, it's so serious. The little, if you quantify productivity in terms of numbers and like try to chart it, we're actually in a parabolic phase when it comes to productivity. Like I said, programming is my bread and butter now. Besides investments and things of that nature, you have programs that's called like for example GPT-3, which is an AI, which is by OpenAI, but that's AI that's doing the programming.
Yeah.
So now we're being put on notice. So
Mhm.
that's the reason why, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency and different avenues, investments, and more importantly, owning your own business. Because, like I said, now the programmer is being put on notice. And granted, there's nothing wrong with, jobs and things of that nature. But it's my opinion that we're preparing for the phase of feudalism 2.0, to where you had the lords and the masters and you had the serfs, if we're not careful. So
Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from. And it's I'll say it's an exciting thing, but it's also a scary subject for some people. And
yes,
I think that either way, change is good, as long as you can monitor and still be in control of that change.
I agree. Like, I talk to people all the time where the change that we're going through now is the same change that my grandparents and great grandparents were going through when they were transitioning from the horse and buggy to the car.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I was gonna say.
yeah, people say, oh, those horse and buggies not going through no blah, 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 blah. And then you got folks up here, all right, cuz, you can sit back there on that horse if you want to. Sure, I'm about to pull off on you. So, yeah, you got to, you either become one with progress or you become a casualty of it. Like a lot of these problems and a lot of the strife that's going on in the world right now is because people didn't become one with progress, and they're becoming a casualty of it. Those jobs that they are, man, I'm good. I'm good. Now R2D2 guy has that job. And matter of fact, AI is actually competing for more white collar jobs right now, even though it is competing to like repetitive, actions and things like that. But a lot of white collar jobs are being threatened by AI. So, nobody's safe. That's the reason why, I believe in college. I believe in education wholeheartedly. Continue to get your education. Don't take it for granted, but use that education to your advantage. To your advantage, not somebody else's, because shoot, it's about to be some serious competition out here. Yeah.
Very well said. Very well said. Now, going back, I know that you said to get into the program with the mixer, you had to know engineering, and that's something that you did perfect. That's a really fantastic craft of yours. So, how long have you been into the music industry, and what exactly do you do? Who all do you work with?
Oh man, shoot. Uh, the rapper Large Professor had a line saying that he's been listening to rap music since he was negative 3 months old. And so I basically I took that from him. So I've been listening to rap music since I was negative 3 months old. Anything hip hop, I remember back when I was 12 years old. I didn't know exactly how to scratch. I heard the sound, but I didn't see how it was done. So I knew it was done with records and stuff. But I used to take the needle back then and just scratch a record. I used to tear up so many records that way. Mama and grandparents jumped on me until I got my first pair of turntables. Then I really, learned how to do that. And that was around the same time when I was 12 years old. Was DJing with my boy. Shout out to my boy Don Rosby, DJ D Train. First ever opportunity to DJ was in his basement.
Okay.
And so we used to have basement parties and stuff in middle school. Took that later on. We'll rent out, a hotel to, throw some, hotel jams and things of that nature. College, I started focusing more on the music side and the production side, being that I was introduced to these studios and in different equipment. EMU had a production lab in Minneapolis, and a lot of people don't realize that Minnesota at that time was the distribution capital of the world. Uni, SEMA, Warner Music Group, all of them had their distribution outlets between Edina and Minneapolis. So, and then obviously Prince, being in the land of Prince, so there were a lot of avenues and a lot of excitement in Minneapolis at that time. And then Minneapolis basically was home to the personal computer with Zio's Corporation. You had Gateway PC in North Dakota. So, you know, there was a lot of activity going on that time. So it was a fun period. And I'm grateful for those opportunities and things because I always wanted to keep, you know, my relationship with hip hop pure. So having innovations and knowledge of the computer and knowing how to break that EMU sampler down and be able to fix it or to add memory and things to that and actually do some of the programming came to be pretty a pretty good resource to have.
Yeah. So then that brings me to a question. Growing up, negative 3 months old, having a feel for hip hop music, how do you feel about the music of today?
Actually, I love it. I love what the youth is doing. One, your generation doesn't depend on as much on sampling like the previous generations do. Your generation is not necessarily worried about signing with a record label like the previous generations have. Plus, your generations had Fruity Loops, got Reasons, got Pro Tools, you know, Magic's, all these programs to where your your studio is right in front of you. You know, top rate quality studio equipment can be done in the house now. So now, you know, you don't have to worry about being bogged down with the politics of a record label, being bogged down with the politics of a studio. You can just create on your own and you're starting to see it. Now you got some old cats mad, this, that, and the third. But shoot, man, I could rock with a Money Bags, yo. So I can rock with something. Shoot, me and my sons and daughter and so, you know, I asked them what's going on. Hey, you know, what's cracking? And they'll give me a playlist. Man, we'll mess around again in that truck and just start riding. Just riding with her. I don't care if the dude is 19. I'm like, man, those beats are banging. Now, some of the lyrics back in the day, you know, that mumble period, no, I wasn't with that. But now you starting to see some of these younger cats like, okay, we got these flows formulated. We got this cadence formulated, like Roddy Ricch. I can mess with young dude.
Really an artist.
Man, snap, man, that box. Come on now. Shoot, man, I have that turned all the way up. Home and car. Shoot, man, we could talk all day about young hip hop, but yeah.
My brother actually introduced me to Roddy Ricch, and it seems like these days, to me, it seems like it's all becoming sort of the same sound. And so I was hesitant to listen to it. But when I did, I realized that like there actually are some really talented individuals out here. And like we discussed earlier with the innovative technology, now we do have all of these new Pro Tools to be able to record and actually create a career just like that. I mean, literally, it's all technology, internet based. TikTok is I'm going to just say it's the number one way to spread a voice, a message, to get yourself out there. It is.
Isn't it?
So with these types of innovations, I mean, literally, there is no limit to what you can do in the world right now. So finding talent and finding your talent is a really good thing. Now you have found your talent not only in engineering and music, but you are also a very, very talented and smart investor. So can you just tell us a little bit about your investing, what the stock market and cryptocurrencies are, and the story behind you getting into it?
All right. First of all, shout out to my mother, Virginia Daniels, because if it wasn't for her, sit me down next to her each first Saturday of each month, talking to a financial advisor. She basically sat me down, like, you know, shut up while grown folks here talking. But that was all the time. And we still do it to this day. but sitting there learning what terms like duration and things were, learning what bonds were, learning what stocks were, learning what a 401k and an IRA at that time was valuable. And then later on, the movie, I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Trading Places with Eddie. It's a classic. You got to check out Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. The key part of that movie, first of all, it has every element in it. It's a good movie, but the key part of that movie is within the last 20 minutes. And one part was Dan Aykroyd's character was like, sell at 136, and basically they were at the futures market and they were selling orange juice futures because they had gotten insider information on a crop rotation in Florida, so they use that to their advantage. Now, I'm not going to encourage you to use insider information because it's currently illegal, but anyway, they got some insider information, made a grip of money. The key thing was that they were on the market one day and they were on the beach the next day. Their butler had a butler. So, that I think that came out in 1983, 1984. So I was 12 years old. So, I was impressed. I was like, wow, I want that. I want that. And then there was a movie that was called The Toy with Richard Pryor and I forgot some of the other actors, but it was this kid that had like all these toys and stuff, and all this land. They had their own private lake, and so I was like, man, I want that. So I was like, how can I get into it? How can I get into it? Almost like King Midas, who was snapping his fingers. I want to be like King Midas. So one time I hit rock bottom. I quit my job with Zeos to work with my partners at UCS, but there was a stretch where money was kind of tight.
Yeah. So
I went through an eviction out of an apartment at that time. Man, I was outside of working at our firm. I was doing labor ready and giving blood, so I hit rock bottom for a couple of days. So I was able to scrounge up a couple of $100. And then I went and consulted my friend Don D-Train Rosby. Shout out to him again, because the same DJ was working at the IRS at that time, and he was trading stocks. And he had a program where he basically was flipping IPOs or initial purchase offers. Mm-hmm. So I had a couple hundred, was able to multiply that, a couple fold. I ain't gonna get into the specific. I can't even say the word. But anyway, 30 seconds after that, I was like, man, what did you do? And opened up my Ameritrade account. Lost a couple of accounts since then, but I just kept with it. September 11th came, and I knew the markets were going to go down, but I didn't know how to manage a down market. So I learned about options at that time. And so since then, I've been doing the majority of my income, or the majority of my income comes from the markets, or comes from trading activity or investment activity.
Good. So how exactly? It honestly is a confusing subject, but it's a subject that everyone should learn, that you should get into and invest in. How exactly does the stock cryptocurrency market work?
Well, basically, let me break this down. The bond market is debt. The bond market is a loan. I need a loan for something. So usually if you need a loan for $30 million or more, you go to the bond market. And so you issue these certificates of debt. People are purchasing it at X amount of percent. They get a fixed return over time of the bond. That's that. Equity market, stocks, they have a variable rate of return. You don't have a guaranteed rate of return because it's variable, because people buy based on supply and demand all day. So that's the stock market. The crypto market is similar in that fashion, to where it's variable. I don't know if you heard of the word Forex or foreign exchange.
I have.
The crypto market in a lot of ways works like foreign exchange because you will have like Bitcoin traded versus Ethereum, which is another cryptocurrency, or you'll have Bitcoin traded versus US Tether, which is another cryptocurrency, which is known as a stable coin. But Bitcoin in itself, officially, the official date is January 12, 2009, when the first Genesis block was created. But the beautiful thing about Bitcoin is that you can transfer assets or transfer money between peer to peer in a trustless environment. Like you don't have to have a bank telling you you can't do this, you can't do that. You have to have this minimum. You have to have this. You got to go through these hoops and all that stuff. You don't have a bank telling you that. You just basically have software, an encrypted file transfer program saying, I'm going to send you X amount of asset and be done with it. There's only 21 million Bitcoin ever going to be created. I believe we're on block 16 million. So now you just looking at pure supply and demand factors. If you look at the U.S., well, anyway, I was about to get us
I like what you're saying.
Basically, Bitcoin, like I said, it's a peer-to-peer transaction, but you can really look at it as a hedge against inflation if you know what I'm talking about in terms of inflation.
No, 100%.
Dollars are being created all the time. So the dollar is losing value all the time. Mm-hmm. So Bitcoin, you can look at Bitcoin as that speedometer of that dollar. Is like if the dollar's losing value, then commodities are going to gain in value like crazy. And then all this stimulus money and stuff that's being printed and things like that, we're going to have a possible term of hyperinflation to where Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and other assets may become even more important. So, but like I said, I'll get along with it. We'll talk all day about this.
Yeah,
all day.
So, with all of that information, it's a lot of information, which brings me to: can anyone get into these currencies? Can anyone invest, and is it worth the risk?
See, that's the beautiful thing about cryptocurrencies. Right now, if you're legally a minor, you can only have a stock account via custodian, meaning that you have to have an adult that that can vouch for you, this, that, and the third. Technically, the same thing is relevant for crypto, but the cryptocurrency market is unregulated for the most part. So there's exchanges, apps. You can download your own wallet right now, and you can hook up a computer. You can even hook your computer up and have it mine cryptocurrency and set it up to where it'll exchange that for Bitcoin, bring that into your wallet, and it's all anonymous in that aspect. Nobody's bothering you getting in your business. You can do that now. You can trade cryptocurrency through certain exchanges that are available out there now. Stock wise, like I said, you have to do that through a custodian, but like I said, the market, just like you said, is an excellent place to hedge your wealth. Granted, there's that one saying, nobody's going to become a millionaire working a 9 to 5. But even if you do have to work that 9 to 5, have your money work for you. Put your money in assets that gain in value versus lose in value. Because like I said, my mother worked a 9 to 5. Shout out to Milwaukee Area Technical College, where she spent 33 years and was able to retire comfortably off of her investments in her 401k, her 403b, and other investments, and then having her son manage a portion of her portfolio. But yeah.
Okay. And we have a question in chat. It says, what advice would you give to someone just getting started? Do they invest in stock or Bitcoin? And if stock, how do they find the best stock to purchase?
Well, I start. I always start with this. One, never put all your eggs in one basket. It's good to diversify your money and put your money in different assets. So yeah, put a portion of your money. Well, it's my opinion now. Granted, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so let me make that clear. But it's my opinion that Bitcoin is a good investment option. So put a portion of your money in Bitcoin. It's my opinion that the stock market is a good viable option for investment. So you have numerous tools. You have regular stocks. You have exchange traded funds that you can purchase on the market. You have funds that mirror certain asset classes like bonds, commodities, precious metals, livestock, different avenues. So, just put your money in different areas. And then what happens is all that, because everything's going to have a down day. There's going to be rain on every parade, but it's usually not raining on all the parades at the same time. So you just want to have, everything bubbling at the same time to where, it's all just growing, even though it's taking hits, but, it's growing. It may not be growing as fast as Bitcoin, or it may not be growing as slow as the bonds, but if you got a mix of everything, you should experience steady growth.
Okay, so get into and delve and start investing in all of it. And take the chance, take the risk. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So then with that, how have you personally been able to use these investments to your advantage?
Well, the majority of my income comes via the markets. My philosophy is this: 55% of your money should be in equities or stocks. 35% of your money should be in fixed income like bonds and other assets of that nature, and 10% of your money should be in cash. If you live off of less than 100% of your fixed income earnings, to where like you build up a portfolio of dividend paying stocks, bond payments, to where you get those monthly and weekly checks and things like that. If you live off of less than 100% of that money, your money is always growing, because you can take the other portion that you didn't live off of and reinvest it. So then, okay, next year I know I got more chips coming. Again, I use my mother as example. My mother hasn't worked in over 20 years, but she makes more money now than she did working.
Wow.
She don't ask for nothing. She's at that point, she don't ask what the price is on nothing. That's where she's at. That's where my grandparents were in life. They came up from Mississippi. Grandfather worked in the auto foundry and things of that nature, but they still had enough sense to grab some stocks and stuff in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and was able to retire and basically live comfortable but a stable life. Because that's one thing that stocks are. Stock is ownership in the company. So, Facebook looks like it's going to be a viable company to where it's going to last for a while. IBM has been here for a while. It looks like it's going to last for a while. So, ownership in strong companies is just like owning your own business. You may not have the insight to be one may not have the insight to be a rocket scientist, but one can buy a rocket science company. Like Warren Buffett, Warren Buffett doesn't do all this stuff, but other than have the money to buy those companies.
Yep.
Elon Musk, OpenAI, Starlink, SpaceX, Tesla. You know what I'm saying? He's a smart dude, but he had the money to invest in other smart dudes so he can get into smart companies.
Yeah. And I believe we have a feature where we can show the market, if you want to get into that. If you can show us something that maybe you would be interested in investing in. So, guys, first of all, if you're watching us right now, you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to drop a like and comment, guys. Max Johnson is fantastic, so definitely show him some love. But we're going to show, and if you're listening to this audibly, I would definitely come and check out the episode right after. But check out this visual. He's going to show us exactly what the stock and crypto market looks like and how we should look at it as new investors. So, give me 1 second.
Let me go ahead and share. All right. Do you see the screen?
Yeah. All right.
All right. So, matter of fact, let me start out with the dollar. What we're looking at right now is the dollar index. This is a basket of currencies, like the dollar versus the European euro, the dollar versus the South African rand, etc. So this is a daily chart of what the dollar looks like now. These extra lines and all this stuff that you see are additional lines that I drew in to give me a technical perspective of this asset to help me make decisions on how to trade it. So this is a whole nother separate lesson. But if you see, the dollar's been losing value. You know, we've been peaked out recently here at 103, but we're currently at 90 and 51, $90.51. So that's the current price of the dollar. So now let's switch over here to Bitcoin, which everybody likes. You see the chart of Bitcoin?
Yeah.
All right. So now, just like what I was talking about, we can take all of that inflation and quantify that inflation in the chart. You know, Bitcoin back in 2010, it started out 2010 at 0.0008 cents, and it ended 2010 at 8 cents. So look at where we've gone since then.
A long way.
A long way. We have 54,876 right now, just off of pure mathematics. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a breakout trader. I like trading breakouts, so I screen for breakouts. So that's what you see here, are everything that's breaking out right now. So when I get off of this podcast, y'all see what I'm about to do when I get off this podcast. So yeah, that's basically that with that. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for showing us that.
No problem. No problem.
And I mean, what you just showed us is something that you do professionally. Obviously, it's something that you invest in your life, and that you said that's how you make your income. That's how your family were able to do it. But you share that knowledge, and I'm sure on the Finance Your Mind investment series. So, can you tell us about that?
Yes. I started Finance Your Mind actually this last year in 2020 on the backside of everybody was hitting me up. You know, this pandemic had everybody at the house. They was bored. They was broke. A lot of folks lost their jobs and stuff, and they were out here panicking. They're like, Max, I'm hurt, cuz, man, I need your help. Max, I need your help. So I was like, you know what? You know, and plus I've done a class before, like a little impromptu class at Panera Bread and some other avenues and venues. I said, let me go ahead and start this website and put all this training on the website. So yeah, if you go to financeyourmind.com, I have the stock trading series, which breaks down the market in a holistic factor from looking at banks and fundamentals, looking at some trading technical aspects of the market, as well as it covers execution. And then it has a continual series where we have live podcasts, like you see back here, the beats and bar charts and things. We have live podcasts to where we further break the markets down and add perspective and try to charter a strategy for the upcoming days and weeks.
Good. You know, I can absolutely respect just not only what you do, but the fact that you share the information, because a lot of people take success, a lot of the big names that we hear, you know, with their money, with their power, all these different things, they want to keep it, right?
Mhm.
But when you're able to take this and give the information that's honestly priceless, it shows a true sense of humility. So thank you for sharing with us, guys. I mean, I'm definitely happy, and I absolutely want to stay connected with you and continue to learn from you. But right now, we'll slowly start to close up. How can people support everything that you're doing through your social media, your podcasts, series, etc.?
Okay. One thing I failed to mention in the start of the show.
Okay.
Yes, my name is Paul Maximilian Johnson, but my alter ego on the flip side is DJ Mad Money Max. DJ Mad $Max, Mad Money Max. If you go to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, it's at DJ Mad Money Max. At DJ Mad Money Max. Other than that, you can catch me at johnsonassetgroup.com. Again, that's johnsonassetgroup.com. Or you can catch me at financeyourmind.com when you want to get your mind financed, when you want to get the financials on your mind and the fundamentals on your mind. Catch me at financeyourmind.com.
Good. And Max, what is your ultimate dream, or do you think that you've already accomplished it?
Well, it's basically just continue the path. Like, I'm talking with the future right now. So if we don't have a strong foundation, especially the future, I'm only as strong as the weakest link. Mm-hmm. So if I don't prepare my own sons and daughter, if I don't get the opportunity to speak to young gentlemen like yourself or young individuals, then the information is lost. Then the wheel has to be reinvented. Then there's more frustration and violence and all this chaos that's going on is because there was some failure at one point. So I figure okay, it's my responsibility to fill in some of those gaps the best way that I know how.
Fantastic. And what would you say is this will be my last question. What would you say is the biggest piece of advice from your career that you've learned in your experiences?
The first rule of lifeguard school is to save yourself first. Save yourself first. Keep your dreams priority number one. Your dreams, your goals, your aspirations are priority number one. Hold those key to your heart and be strategic with them, but save yourself first.
I mean, the entire episode, the whole time, Max, you have been a blessing to listen to and truly an inspiration, an expert, and I love it so much. But on a real note, I mean, from your background, from literally listening to the grown folks talk, to Mama and everyone else that you've encountered, you have learned and done this yourself. And now, I mean, you are giving it to us. You are defying exactly, I mean, just everything. You're amazing. I want you to say loud and proud who you are, what you do, and I am defiant.
Man, I'm Paul Maximilian Johnson, aka DJ Mad Money Max. Main thing is I'm not just here to participate, I'm here to dominate. So yeah, loud and defiant. Y'all enjoy yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.
Thank you so much, Max. You are a true blessing. We will definitely stay up, and thank you so much for joining us. I mean, it has been a blessing. Seriously, thank you so much.
Man, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you having, man, the pleasure is all mine. So thank you. I appreciate it.
100%. We'll talk to you later.
All right, you too. Take it easy.
Guys, I mean, what can I say? I can say that Max Johnson, Paul Max Johnson, Maximilian Johnson that was incredible. I don't know if I'm the only one that was touched. And I'm not talking about touched like in any kind of way except inspired. I'm inspired to hear exactly how he came up. Started as an engineer, got into music DJing, went into investing. Now he's sharing that story and sharing what he knows with his family, keeping it going. This is going to turn into what we like to call continual wealth. It's going to keep going. Innovation. That's exactly what this is. Growing as a community, growing in technology, growing in yourselves. Like he said, say yourself first. Guys, if you've learned something, if you've learned a single thing, I want you, if you're not already, to go ahead and drop a follow right now. If you're listening to us all again on all social media, podcast platforms, or if you're watching us live on Facebook and YouTube, go ahead and drop us a follow. Also, drop a like and comment. Let's see. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think about what we just heard. I mean, I know that I'm very happy. I'm definitely going to stay up to date with that, because the very first thing I've always told everyone, when I turn 18, the very first thing I'm going to do is go and invest in stock. It's very important. It's crucial, because it really is investing in yourself, investing in your future. So whether you're working a 9-to-5, whether you have a small business, it's something that's just, you really should learn about it. So I want you guys to make sure that you definitely do check out the Johnson Foundation, and you go ahead and listen to the Finance Your Mind investment tutorial series and podcast. It's something that's really going to change your life. Trust me. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, I really, really hope that you'll join us some more. We will be having our April magazine come out on the 30th, April 30th. Guys, be on the lookout for that. Right now, we are kind of packed for the rest of the month of April. So we will be back with another podcast early May. So make sure that you are subscribed and following the Defiant Ones Teen podcast with notifications so you never miss an episode. You can check out our website to learn more about us, get your online or physical copy of the Defiant Ones Teen magazine, as well as listen to the Defiant Ones Teen podcast. If you want to learn about us, become an advertiser or sponsor. Literally everything we have is on our website, Defiant Ones Mag. Also, if you're new, you can check us out on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Defiant Ones Mag. Again, that's at Defiant Ones Mag. You can find me, your host, Christian Kindafy Robinson, on all social media as well at Kindafy. That's KINDAFYE. I so appreciate you guys coming and listening and tuning in with us. It really is a blessing, and I am blessed just to be able to have heard that. I'm going to go back and listen to all of this again. I don't know about anyone else, but he gave some really, really, really good advice. Life-changing and knowledge. So, I wish you well, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining us. Catch you in the next one.